Hello, my name is Amy Rolfus, and I'm the Executive Director at the Family Learning Institute in Ann Arbor. Welcome to our kitchen table classroom, where we'll share some good ideas on how to help your kids learn right at home. For the past 14 years, Family Learning Institute has been providing one-on-one reading and math tutoring to elementary students living in low-income households. Using methods that have been developed by experienced teachers, we have helped over 1,000 kids boost their grades and find success in the classroom. We know our approach works, but we also know that when parents build on this in the home, it works even better. So join us today, where we'll share some great ideas and some fun and easy ways for you to spend quality time with your kids and help them find success in learning.
Hi, I'm Joellen Mogelgard, and today I'd like to talk with you at the kitchen table classroom about comprehension. This may be the most important segment in our series because actually reading is understanding. I say that a lot because often we've got kids, maybe your own son or daughter, who appear to read the words just fine, and you wonder, how could they possibly be struggling in school? The truth is that a student can have good word recognition, but not really be a successful reader because they don't understand what it is they're reading. I often test kids when exactly that is the truth. They're very fortunate because they know words and they can read them maybe even rapidly. But then when I go to ask them questions about what they've read, they're truly puzzled. As one student said to me, "I'm so busy reading, I don't have time to think." So what this segment about is really helping your sons and daughters understand that they have to be able to think as they read. So let me talk about comprehension. There are basically two types: listening comprehension and reading comprehension. Both are very important. When you're reading to a young child, it's important to ask them questions to help build concepts, things like first, then, next, things like biggest, smallest, all of those concepts that you might want to talk about with a younger child. But also it's important to build vocabulary. Do you know what this word means? What do you think is meant by this? All of these are vital for school success. So in terms of listening comprehension, let me just say something I know in my heart of hearts, and that is that no matter what their age, children love to be read to.
Tommy, tonight for our bedtime story, we're going to read one of your favorite books by Dr. Seuss. It is called One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish,
Blue fish.
Yeah, you know this one.
If there is a time for reading together, and you
One
sit with
fish,
your
two
child
fish,
and read
red
together,
fish,
that will become a very
by
important part
Dr.
of the day
Seuss.
to your son or daughter.
We can read it together if you remember it. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Black.
It can be picture books. If they're young, it can be chapter books. The important thing is that you're talking about what it is you're reading, sharing ideas, making predictions about what might happen next. In fact, you might want to write this down. There are those 5 W's we hear about that are part of the questioning that you might want to use. The what is happening, when, where, why, and who are those 5 W's that are important in helping children really grasp what it is they're listening to or what it is they're reading. I can't tell you enough how important this is. It's a little bit tricky because you have the flow of the story that you really don't want to interrupt. And I understand that, and that's very important too. It's just that from time to time, you really need to do a little check. to see if, in fact, the child is really understanding what they're hearing or what they're reading. When they have finished reading a book at school or at home, I think it's important, if you can, to ask them, what was your favorite part? Rather than just simply asking them, how was it? That how was it question can lead, at least it did my son and daughter, to it was okay, and that was the end of the conversation. Go to the library. Let the child pick some books they're interested in. It can be comic books, it can be magazines, it can be fiction, it can be nonfiction, or whatever. I would like to also suggest that if you ask the child what the story was about, and your child says, I don't remember. Here is a very important tip. Please think about saying to your child, that happens to me sometimes when I'm reading also. I can get done and I realize I have read the words, but I do not know what it says. But you know what, Max? Successful readers realize that and they go back and read it again.
What happened in the middle of the book?
I don't remember.
I am glad you said that, because when good readers don't remember something, they actually go back and look in the book. So let's look inside the book and find out.
Okay.
All of this kind of reading and talking together is the very best you can do to help your child be ready for school and to help your child be successful at reading. The fact of the matter is that reading is a gift you can give your child, which costs you nothing.
Yeah, it's in a different language. I know it sounds different.
He's saying, which means, what a wonderful business that hat selling is.
You like these hats that he made?
Only that one.
That's your favorite one, the small one? I like this one. How do you think Bamusa feels about selling hats?
He feels happy.
I think so too.
Successful readers are reading to get the meaning. All successful readers from time to time have to reread passages. One of the things you might decide to do to encourage reading in the house is set a time that is reading time for everyone. I like that idea. Maybe even turning off the TV or turning off the video games for 20 minutes and everybody reads. You know your child. That may work very well for you, your child, and the rest of the members of your family. Maybe not. That will be your choice. But I would like to suggest that you hang up a sheet of paper somewhere in the house, and when the child has finished a book, put the title on the list to be recognized by everyone in the family. And you may want to reward the child after they've read, let's say, 5 books, if they were able to tell you about them. Reward them in some way that's meaningful to them. Again, you'll know that better than I.
Wow, Jake, I cannot believe you read this book. It was super long and it was hard, and you understood it. You know what? I want to reward you anytime you can read a book and understand it. So I'm going to write the title of the book on this paper. What's it called again? What's the book called?
The Hat Seller and the Monkeys.
The Hat Seller and the Monkeys. All right. And when you can read 5 books and understand what the book was about, I'm going to write them on this paper, and when you have 5 books, I will let you play your Xbox on a school night. How does that sound?
Cool.
Good? Okay, you got to be able to read 5 books, though, and understand them. Got it? Okay.
Please think about doing this. Comprehension, understanding what is read, is vital to school success. Thank you. See you next time.